Reading from Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 84, verse number 27. In the previous class, we read the prayers of the sages to Krishna after they heard Krishna's glorification of the sages. And in that they mainly praised him that it is he who is the source of creation, etc. And one becomes purified by seeing him, and they are very fortunate because his feet are meditated even by the great Yogeshwaras, but they cannot see him. And they also said that these kings and even the Vrishnis do not know him. So then they prayed for bhakti, anugrahana bhaktam. So now in this verse, Sri Shukdev Goswami speaks, Eti anugyapya dasharaham dhritarashram yudhishtiram rajarse swashraman gantum munayo dadhire manaha. So in this way, after taking permission from Sri Krishna, the king Dhritarashtra and Yudhishthira Maharaj, O Parikshit, the sages decided to return back to their ashrams. Svashraman manadadhire gantum. There is no commentary on this. Tadvikshatanuprajya vasudevo mahayasa pranamya chopsangrihya babhashedam suyantrita. Seeing that the sages were about to leave, then Sri Vasudev, he approached them and held their feet and spoke to them in the following manner with a very controlled speech. So upsangrihya padau dhritva. Upsangrihya means holding their feet. Babhase idam iti sandhirarsha. Babhase and idam, there should be no sandhi here. So this is unusual sandhi arsha. Etavanto munyo hi nimantreyapi anetum ashakya. So he is thinking that to have association of these sadhus, these sages, is not possible even if you invite them. They will not come. But now this is such a rare opportunity that they are here. So therefore, why not take advantage of it? So he says, Aitair vinam amhirt sanseopi duscheda eva tadadhuna eva aham prashtavyam prachamiti bhava. Says, without them, my doubts will remain uncleared. Therefore, I will ask them and thus take this opportunity to clear my doubts. So this is a very intelligent decision, because where will you get such people? Even one of them, but to speak of all of them together. Sri Vasudeva Vacha, Sri Vasudeva spoke, Namo va sarva devebhya rishya srotumarhatha karmana karma nirharo yatha syan nastaducyatam. So first he says Namova, that my obeisances to all of you, and he is considering them as devatas, sarva devebhya, although they are sages, but he says they are honorable like the devas. So he said that, O sages, please listen to me. I want to know how I can become free from karma while engaged in karma. Please answer this to me. I am very eager to hear this. Sarv devebhya iti yavatirvai devtasta sarve ved vidhi brahmane vasanti iti shrute. There is a Shruti statement that all the devatas, they exist in a Brahmana who knows the Vedas. Means a knower of the Veda is the abode of all the devatas. So therefore they are called Sarvadevebhya here. Karmana eva karmanam nirharo naso yatha iti. How can the karma can be destroyed, or means one performs karma but does not become implicated in its result. Mama griha putra kalatradi mahasaktasya gyan bhakti or anadhikarad iti bhava. So the meaning is that I am very much attached to my house, my wife, children, family. Therefore I do not have the adhikara, the eligibility to follow the path of jnana or bhakti. Because jnana is based on vairagya. Bhakti also, some vairagya is necessary. But since he is in the grihastha ashram, then karma yoga is the best for that. So therefore he says, please inform. In other words, indirectly, he is asking the question for the benefit of others, so that others who are in their family life, how can they not be bound by the karma? So Sri Narada speaks as a representative of all the sages. Sri Narada uvacha Nati chitramidam vipra vasudevo bubhutsaya krishnam matvarbhakam yanna prichati shreya atmanah. So first he is addressing the sages themselves. He says that, O sages, brahmanas, it is not very astonishing that Vasudeva has the desire to know the answer to this question. Why is that? Because he thinks that Krishna is just his child, his son, Arbhaka. Arbhaka means young boy or young baby is called Arbhaka. So he thinks of Krishna like that. And therefore he is asking for his welfare, how he can be benefited. Although he is actually the father of Swam Bhagavan, Sri Krishna, the Supreme Lord. But because he does not think of him like that, so he is asking us, Aho ayam bhagavatah pitapi atmanam sansarinam manyate. What a wonder that although he is the father of Bhagavan himself, but he is thinking he is an ordinary person, like other materialistic people. Yadi va parartham prichati tadapi krishnam hitva katham asman prichati. If one says, well, he is asking not for himself, but for the benefit of others, then why is he asking us? He should ask Krishna. Bhagavan is in his home, he wants to benefit others, then he can ask him, like Arjuna asked Krishna for the benefit of everyone at the battlefield. He took that as opportunity to question him. So Vasudeva can also ask him. Iti ati vismita stan pratya. So all these sages were very astonished to hear this question and thinking, why is he asking us and not Krishna? So understanding this, Sri Narada is speaking to them. Arbhakam saputram eva natu ishwaram. Because he thinks that Krishna is just a child, his son, not Ishvara. Ata atmana swasya eva. Therefore he is asking for his own benefit. He is not asking for others' benefit. He would ask for others' benefit if he knew that Krishna is God. and I don't need anything. I am Father of God, so what knowledge do I need? Sannikarso hi martyanam anadarana karanam gangam hitva yathanyam bhastatratyo yati shuddhaye. He says this is the nature of human beings, that they disregard somebody who is very close to them, who is great, who is worthy of honor, but easily available. Then they disregard. As they say, familiarity breeds contempt. So when you become too much familiar, then the person may be honorable, you don't honor that. Something which is easily available loses its value. Something which is not easily found, that has value. Diamond is also stone, but it's rare, so it has more value than other stones. It's only type of stone. What is there? So iron is also metal, gold is also metal. Why gold is more expensive? Because it's not that much available as iron. So therefore he says, Sannikarso hi martyanam anadarana karanam. So Vasudeva, Krishna is available to him, so he thinks he's just my son. Then he gives an example, Gangam hitva yathanyam bhastatratyo yate shuddhaye. Just like somebody is living at the bank of Ganga river, but he goes to some other holy place to purify himself, and the water of Ganga himself can purify. Like people who live in Vrindavan, they also go to Badrinath for pilgrimage. So this is the Tirtha of the Tirtha, holiest of the holy, but still people go elsewhere. Our Lakut Pandit went to Khatu Shyam. He was not satisfied with Vrindavan, so he goes to see Khatu Shyam. I asked him, why are you going there? Khatu Shyam is famous temple in Rajasthan. He is supposed to be the grandson of Bhima. Bhima's son was Ghatotkacha, and Ghatotkacha's son Barbarik. So Barbarik is famous now as Khatu Shyam. Nanu Krishnasya janmakṣanam ārabhya eva tam ishvaratvena ayam janati eva satyam. So someone will say that why you say that he does not know Krishna. He knew Krishna is Ishvara, because when Krishna appeared in the prison, he appeared as Vishnu with four-handed form. He did not come in two hands. So he knows. So why you say he does not know? He says, yeah, it is true, but because of familiarity, too much closeness. Tadapi sannikarsam eva nadar hetu ityaha sannikarseti. So it is because of the familiarity that there is disrespect, disregard. Atra Sri Vasudevasya premanam eva tadaishvaryana anusandhane hetu narada janati eva. So he says that actually that is not the case, that it is because of the familiarity. It is because he has vatsalya, fatherly affection for Krishna. Therefore that prema which he has for Krishna, it covers the Aishwarya of Krishna. So then Krishna also appears to him like that. Ye thamam prapadyante tams tathai bhajamyaham. So because he sees him as his son, then Krishna also looks like son only, not Ishvara. Tadapi tasmin maha samsadi Prema siddhantamati rahasyam avivrunuvan lokritya eva samadhadho. So Narada also knows this fact that Vasudeva knows. Then why Narada is speaking like this? That it is familiarity which is making him like this. He says because Narada wants to keep love as a secret in this assembly, because there are various types of people there. Everybody is not qualified to hear about it. So therefore he is, instead of giving the real answer, why Vasudeva is asking that because he thinks Krishna is only his son out of love, he is giving an answer according to the common man's view. Because common man knows this, that our mind craves for something which is not easily available, easily attainable. It gives more value to that. Something which is available, ghar ki murgi dal barabar. So something which is growing on your backyard, then you don't value that much. So that is the Laukic view is taking. Tatha sraivitva vasudevasya tasya tadaishvarya jnanam cha prem prodipya maseti. And speaking like this, he also excited the Aishwarya Gyan of Vasudeva. Means by hearing this, he will also understand that Krishna is not just his son. Anadarotra gauravam gaurav manana abhava. So therefore, from Vasudeva's point of view, the meaning here that familiarity brings contempt or disregard doesn't mean that. It means that it covers the Gaurava, the majestic feature of Krishna, and makes him appear just as his son. Yasyanubhuti kalena layotpatyadina asya vai svatonyasmacha gunto na kutasyan drishyati. He says that the experience of Krishna means if one has had experience of Krishna, then it cannot be lost by time or during dissolution. Means if one dies or one takes birth or covered by this material world by itself or by anything else, by the gunas of the Prakriti, none of these things can cover the experience once when somebody has had experience of Krishna. So therefore there is no possibility that Vasudeva's knowledge was lost or anything like that. So he is applying this verse again like as if he is addressing the sages. Bhau Brahmagya Pujya Pada, that oh, the knowers of the truth. न केवलम अत्रयम वसुदेव एव उपलम्भ्य किंतु अत्रत्य प्राय सर्वैव लोका कृष्णमेश्वरम न जानाति इति आह्यस्येति द्वाभ्याम्. He says, please do not have critical view about Vasudeva only, but generally speaking, all the people who are here, they don't know that Krishna is Ishvara. This is spoken in 2 slokas. Yasya anubhutir jnanam kutaschid api narishyati nanashyati. Experience of Krishna is never lost, destroyed by anything. Tam Sri Krishnam pranadibhir upgudham achannam anya prakritoyam loka swam iva amanyatiti anvaya. So this Krishna who is like this and who is covered by his life, etc., then these materialistic people, they think that he is also like them, swamiva amanyat. Just as they are covered by their material body, so materialistic people think like this. Atmavat manyate jagat. You know others as you think of yourself. As your mind works, you think others also think like that. So it is how mind works, because there is no other way to know. If you consider something as good, you think others also consider that good, or they should. If you like one type of religion or society, you want that everyone should like that. But it's not. So similarly, because people are conditioned by Maya, then they think that Krishna is also like that. Yasya anubhutir jnanam kutaschidapi narishyati na nashyati. His experience is never lost. Okay, we did that. Tadevaha, this has been spoken. Kalena karkati kafalvat. So he is saying that how the experience of Krishna is not destroyed by time, like the karkati fruit. Karkati, kakadi. So if you leave it after some time, it will just rot. It doesn't stay very long time. So that is karkati. There is no English. I have not seen karkati in the West. It's found only in India. Maybe other places, but I never saw it. Kidrishena asya vishwasya laya utpatti karanena. It is also not destroyed by time in the form of destruction of the world, etc. Sometimes certain things can be destroyed by themselves, swata, vidyut adivat, just like the lightning. So there is lightning, and then there is nothing which destroys the lightning, it gets destroyed by itself. It comes for 2 seconds. Anyasmacha mrudgaradir ghatadivat. Certain things can be destroyed by something else. Like if there is a clay pot and you hit it with a stick, and then pot goes fat, it breaks with a sound. Gunatas tamogunena brahmandavat narishyati. Or you become influenced by the guna, such as tamoguna, which destroys. Tamas is for destruction, like the Brahmanda is destroyed in tamas. So that is the commentary. पुरुषोत्तम प्रभु जी क्या है आपका, बोलिए. पुरुषोत्तम प्रभु. गायब हो गए. ओके. तम क्लेश कर्म परिपाक. यस.
Though the Vasudeva was already there in the assembly when all the sages were glorifying Krishna, addressing by the Ishwaragati, and still he's after him all the Aishwarya, his Madhurya Bhava, still about did not subside, and it looks like.
Yes. Otherwise, why should he ask the sages? He could have asked them only. Ask him. That's what the commentator said. Why is not asking Krishna? So he remembered. They say in English that first impression is the last impression, right? So he got the first impression from Krishna, who glorified the sages, right? And he didn't listen to the second part. Maybe he went for a coffee break. By the time he came back, they were leaving. Tam klesha karma paripaka guna pravahe avyahata anubhavam Ishwaram advitiyam pranam dhisva vivairupa gudha manyo manyeta suryam eva meghahimo paragaihi. So tam klesha karma paripak guna pravahe avyahata anubhavam Ishwaram advitiyam. So he is talking again about Ishvara, who is Advitiya, one without a second. and his anubhava, his experience, is not subdued or lost by klesha, by any troublesome situation, or karma paripak, effect of karma, or by the guna pravaha. The flow of gunas also changes things, because gunas are always changing. Rajastamascha bhivoe satyam bhavati bharata rajastat sattvam tamaschaiva tamasatvam rajastatha. So sometimes sattva becomes prominent, then you can think properly, remember. Sometimes rajas becomes powerful, then mind wavers. You cannot think very clearly. When it is tamas, then it becomes absolutely foggy. You forget slokas, names, forget name of your own family members. And if dementia, then it is even worse. So that is the guna pravaha. So he says, but the experience of Ishvara is not lost. Prana Devi, my prana or the body, etc. So vibhai rupagudham anyo manyet suryamiva. So others think that he becomes covered, but actually he is just like the sun, who can be covered by cloud, by snow, or by uparaga. Uparaga is eclipse, solar eclipse. Uktaposh nyayena imam artham punaraha. So there is a nyaya called Uktaposh nyaya. Uktaposh nyaya means that what has been said, to fortify that with further statements. That is called Uktaposh nyaya. So he is using that Uktaposh nyaya to show that this sloka is also further strengthening what was said earlier. So klesha, raga there. Klesha here are raga, dvesha, etc. 5 types of klesha: avidya, asmita, raga, dvesha, avnibhivesha, pancha klesha. So 5 kleshas. Out of that avidya, etc. we don't know. We only hear there is avidya. But we know raga and dvesha. So therefore he says raga there. Karmani. Karmanis are those which are the cause of the klesha. That's what Nyaya Sutra says. First there is mithya gyan, then there is dosha, then there is pravritti, then there is birth, then there is suffering. So this is the progression. Uttara uttara paya. So klesh hetavasya. Paripaka. Paripaka means cooking. So karma does not give result immediately. First it has to become mature. It has to ripe. Paripak means to get ripened. Otherwise there is no taste. So it has to be ripened. Then it comes and gives you the result, fruit. Phala. That's why it is called karma phala. Phala means fruit. And fruit is tasty only when it is ripe. And fruit becomes ripe with time. Now they use chemicals also. Previously only time could make it ripe. So karma is still ripes with time, not with chemical. They have not discovered yet any chemical to make your karma ripened. So it still goes with time. So that's the paripaka. Tat karya sukh dukhani. And then once it is there, then fruits are only 2 types. One is sweet fruits, others are which are not sweet, sour, sometimes bitter. So gunanam sattvadinam, and guna refers to sattva rajas tamas. Tairna vyahato anubhavo jnanam yasya. So his knowledge is not obstructed by any of these things. Pranadibhi pran mano buddhyadibhir linga sharira ghatkai. The word prana here refers to the subtle body. So subtle body consists of the 5 pranas, manas, buddhi, panch gyanendriya, panch karmendriya. These 17 things are generally counted in the linga sharira. So that's what pranadi refers to. Svavibhai svakarye rachannam. So by their effects they cover. Atra dishrantaha meghascha himaha kuhedikacha uparago rahuscha tai svavibhai suryameva. So here the example is just like the cloud, and snow here means fog, and then eclipse. So they cover the sun. Like that the intelligence of people is covered by these things. Meghasya syor jyotir jalatmakatvat. What is megha? Megha cloud. Cloud is nothing but water which has gone up by the sunlight. Jalasya jyotir karyatvat himasya cha jalavisheshatvat. So the jala, the water which goes up in the air as cloud, is because of the jyoti of sun, the light, sun rays. And himasya, fog, is also water. So water particle hanging in the air. Rahoscha dushta jiva avishta dhvanta khandatmakatvat. And what is Rahu? Rahu is the one who brings solar eclipse. So he says it is also made of darkness, and a wicked Atma enters into it. Dhvantasya cha chakshugrahyatveena pauranik mate tejasatvat. Now about darkness there are 2 views. Nyaya says that darkness is not a positive element, it is only absence of light. But Mimamsakas say that darkness is also a positive thing. This is also the view of the Puranas. Sri Sampradaya Ramanujacharya also accepts darkness as a separate element. Because Brahma created darkness first. Moha, Mahamoha, Tama, Andha, Tamas, 5 types. So he created darkness. If he created, it's a positive thing. So that's why it says Puranik. So this is also, although it is darkness, but it is actually part of light only. Less light. Meghadinam Surya Karyatvam. So both clouds, fog, and solar eclipse, they are all effect of sun only. Atho churmuniyo rajan nabhasyanak dandubhim sarvesham shanutam ragyam tathaiva chataramayoho. So after that, all this was talk among themselves only. Now they spoke. So now the Munis, they spoke, Muniya Uchu, to King Vasudeva, Abhasyanak Dundubhim. So answering to Anakdundubhi or Vasudev, when everyone was listening, all the kings were listening, even Krishna and Balram were listening. Sarvesham ityadi saptami arthe shashti. Sarvesham srinvata shashti vibhakti, it should have been saptami. Karmanam karma nirhara esa sadhu nirupitaha yachradhyaya yad vishnum sarvyagyeshwaram makhaihi. So now they are answering his question, because he says, how can you become free from karma by doing karma? So he says that the way to become free from karma by karma has been explained very nicely, that if you do yajna with Shraddha to Vishnu, who is Yajneshwara, then by doing this yajna, you will become free from karma. So Krishna also says this in Bhagavad Gita. Yagyarthat karmano nitra lokoyam karbandhana. That you should do karma for yagya, otherwise it binds you. Karma nirharo yatha syaditi prakara prashnoktam ahu yat shraddhaya. How one can become free from karma, he describes here as it was the question. Yat shraddhaya makhanam vishnu aradhaka jnanam vina karma nirharo na bhavet iti. So this says that makhanam means of the yagyas, which are way to worship Vishnu, and this is not possible without the knowledge how to execute them. Therefore one cannot become free from karma. Upshama upsham hetu sugama pravritti ashrayat. Next sloka. Chittasya upsamoyam vai kavibhi shastra chakshusha darshita sugmo yogo dharmasya atma mudavaha. So he says that this yagya has been described by the wise men who have the eye of Shastra as that which brings peace to the mind. And this is the easy yoga, this is the dharma which brings happiness. So therefore he says that those who understand Shastra, they say that you should do yagya. Brahmarpanam brahmahavir brahmago brahmanahutam brahmaiva tena ganthavya brahma karma samadhina. So make life as a yagya. Yagyena yagyam. Yajam. So upshama upsham hetu. This yagya is the cause of bringing peace to the mind, making you free from the bondage of karma. Sugma pravritti ashrayat, and it is the easy method because you don't have to renounce anything. Yoga moksha prapta upaya. It is yoga, means it is a means. The word yoga also means means of something. It has different meaning. One of the meaning of yoga is upaya. Upaya means a means, the process to achieve something. Atma mudavaha manasuk pradasya, and it brings joy to the heart. So then they continue to speak further. Ayam swastiyana pantha dvijater grihmedhinaha yachhadraya shraddhayapta vittena shuklena ijjeta purushaha. This is the swasti ayanaha pantha. This is the most auspicious path for those who are twice born and who are in the grihastha ashram. What is that? Yat shraddhaya apta vittena suklena ijjeta purusha. That one worships the Purusha with shraddha by white money. Suklena vittena means the yagya, puja, worship has to be done by money which has been attained by honest means, what you call as white money. In Sanskrit also it is called white money. Shukla means white, and not by Krishna with black money. Sanskrit also uses same words. So if you do some dharmic activity by black money, then you don't get any benefit from that. So it is not that you can plunder somebody and then give donation or do some other charitable act, welfare act. That will not bring any benefit. Because here it says Shuklena ijjeta purusha. Worship with the white money. Proper channel. So Dvijate Straivarnikasya Aptavittena Nyaya Prapta Dhanena Shuddhena. So Vishwanath Chakravarti also comments that those who are Dvijati, means Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, they should do yajna by the wealth which they have attained by legal means, Nyaya Prapta. So they are saying, your Artha Suchi, Savai Suchi. Only that person is considered as pure whose money is pure. If your money is not pure, you are not pure, no matter how much bath you take. You remain impure. Vittaishnam yajnadaneir grihaidara sutaishnam Atmalokeshanam deva kalena visrajed buddha grame taktaishnaha sarve yayurdhira stapovanam. So with Taishna, there are three types of desires often mentioned in Shastra, commonly used: Vittaishna, Putraishna and Lokaishna. These are three, they are also mentioned in Charak Samhita. That human beings, number one, they have Vittaishna, desire for wealth. Everybody has desire for wealth. Some have more, some have less, but the desire is there. Then Putraishna, this is for the Grihasthas. Those who are Grihasthas, they also want children. And then there is Lokaishna. Then you want that you should be famous, well known here in the society. After death, you should go to heaven, some nice place. That is called Lokaishna. So this is common in people in general. So how to become free from this? Because as long as we have these ashnas, then we will perform action to fulfill those ashna or desires, and then we will become bound. So it says, Vittaishnam yajnadaneir grihedara sutaishnam. By doing yajna and by giving charity, you should become free from desire for wealth. So that is first solution. And by getting married, having wife and children, you should become free from the desire for children. In other words, he is not saying that give up the desire, he says satisfy it. Have wife, have children, 1, 2, 3, whatever, and become free. So that you don't have to think, oh, I did not do this, I did not do that. And grame taktashna sarve yayur dhiras tapo. No, atmalokashna deva kalena visrajet. And the ashna for atma and loka, then one should give up this by worship of the deva. And grame tyakta ashna sarve dhira tapovanam. Those who are dhira, they went to the forest after giving up all ashnas. Take sannyas. Niskamatvam vina karma niharo na syat. So you cannot become free from karma without becoming niskam, free from desire. And niskamatvam cha anena prakarena bhavet. How will you become free from desire? That is being described in this sloka. Vittaishnam vittakankszam yajnair danascha. You become free from the desire for wealth by doing yajna and giving charity. Vittafal bhutai tyajet. So these are the outcome of the wealth, because they are done with wealth only, then you give up the desire for wealth. Sampaditeshu yajneshu daneshu kimata param vitteneti bhavet. Once you have performed yajna and given charity, then you think, okay, why do I need more money than this? And then you become free. Grihai grihochitair bhogai darasutaishnam stri sambhog vasnam putra vasnam chatyardayit. And then the desire to have a nice house, wife, children, he says, have them. Don't worry. Have the experience of house, enjoying with wife or with husband, have a child or more if you want, and then give up this vasana also. Because once you have it, then you say there is nothing. Tadanubhavenaiva tadatsukya nivritte. By experience, your curiosity goes away. Otherwise, you think, maybe this person is having a lot of fun. So therefore, don't harbor such feelings. Rather have experience and realize that there is not much in it. So your curiosity is over. Dehe mrite sati atmane sarvadi lokashna. After dying, you want to go to heaven. Kalena kshayana visrajet. That also you give up. That even if you go to heaven, after some time you have to come down. Kshine punyam varte lokam vishanti. Tetam bhuktva svarga lokam vishalam. So you have to come down. So why make the effort of going up if you have to come down only? Stay here. Deva he vasudeva atracharam pramaneti grameti. So Deva is addressed to Vasudeva, that here there are people who have done like this in the past. So you can also do that. Rinai stribhir dvijo jato devarshi pitrinam prabho yagyadhyan putraistani anistirya tajan patet. So whoever is born, especially the Dvijas, Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, they have three types of debt. So just like in Christianity they say that you are born with sin because there is an original sin. Here they say you are born in debt. So you have three types. You have debt to the Devas, debt to the sages, debt to the forefathers. So you have to get rid of this debt and become indebted or free from debt. By doing yajna, you become free from the devrina, the debt to the devas. By study of the Vedas and Shastra, you become free from the rishirina, the debt to the sages. By producing a son, you become free from the debt to the forefather. But if you don't become free from this debt and you die, then you go to hell. Because you are in debt. So then you get punished for the debt. Like if you don't pay your debt, if you take loan from the bank, don't pay it, they come and attach your property. If you have something, if you don't have anything, you go to prison. Right? So here also, going to hell means prison. Kincha rinairiti tathacha shruti. So moreover, everyone has the debt, as there is a statement in the Vedas. Jayamano vai brahmana stribhi rinvan jayate brahmacharyena rishibhyo yagyena devebhyo prajaya pitribhyo ityadi. Anyone who takes birth, a brahmana, he has three debts on his head, without a doubt. These are debt to the devas, to the rishi and to the forefathers, pitris. And by taking to brahmachari life, which means to study the Vedas, you become free from the debt of the sages. By doing yajna, you become free from the debt to the devas. And by producing child, son, daughter, children, you become free from the debt to forefathers. Tani anistirya tesham arinani anapakritya. But if you die without clearing your debts, you fall down. Tvam tu adya mukto dvabhyam vai rishipitro mahamate yagir devaranam munmuchya nirrinno sharno bhava. So now they are telling to Vasudeva that you are free from two debts. You are free from the debt of the rishis, the sages, and you are free from the debt of the forefathers. Because he has studied Shastra, the Vedas, so he is free from the rishi rin, and he has a son, Krishna, so he is free from the debt to the forefathers. So only one is remaining to the devas. So he says, Yagyair devaranam unmichyate. So you have one debt left, therefore you should do yajna to become free from that debt. And then, becoming free from that debt, you will not be dependent on anything. You can take shelter of Bhagavan then. Asarano bhava. Dvabhyam rinabhyam asarano bhava grihat pravarja. Now this is a very interesting thing because the word sarana also means home. Sarane, saranam griha rakshitro. Our course says that the word saran means two things. One is protector, rakshitri, other is griha, house. So he says you become asarana. So asarana here means houseless, become homeless. So homeless does not mean you wander on the street, but you leave home, take one prastha. That is the instruction given by the sages to Vasudeva. Vasudeva bhavan nunam bhaktya parmaya harim jagatam ishwar pracha sa yadva putratam gataha. So finally they are instructing him, they are saying, Vasudeva ji, you have worshipped Bhagavan Jagdishwar, Jagatam Ishwar, the Lord of the universe, Pracha. Pracha means you worshipped him with devotion, supreme devotion, Hari, and therefore he has become your son. लोक रीत्या त्वया कृतस्य प्रश्नस्य अस्माभिरपि लोक शास्त्र रीत्या एव उत्तरं दत्तम्. So now they are saying that you asked a question like an ordinary people, generally how people ask questions. So we have also answered in that sense. Otherwise he has no debts on him. Krishna is his son, how can he have a debt? But it says because you asked like that, we also replied like that. Vastutastu tvai bhagavat pitari nitya siddhe bhagavati eva naiv lok shastra adhikartum prabhushnu syatam. He says, in reality you are the father of Bhagavan. You are eternal associate of Bhagavan. So like Bhagavan, you are beyond loka and shastra. You are beyond any rules, any regulations, any debts. तदपि यदि त्वम् आत्मानं शास्त्रोक्त धर्माणम् अधिकारिणम् एव मन्यसे तत्रापि उत्तरं शृणु इत्याह. But still if you think that you want to follow the शास्त्रोक्त dharma, the principles which are described in Shastra, and you think that you deserve to do that, so then please listen to this. Vasudhanam shreshtham bhakti yoga eva. It says that the best yoga is bhakti. Because you are Vasudeva, and the best Vasu means wealth, best wealth is bhakti. Tatra divyasi iti ataeva he Vasudeva. And you are situated in that bhakti, therefore you are Vasudeva. Bhaktya tatrapi parmaya prakarshena archa. And you have worshipped Hari very nicely with devotion. Tat katham adhuna tatoti nikrishtam karmadhikarapi patishyasi iti bhava. So where is the possibility that you are now going to engage in karma when you are already beyond all that? Na chaidam asmadukta pramanam evaityahu sayad vamiti. And it is not that only we are saying it, but there is a praman for this. And the proof, the biggest proof is that you are father of Krishna, who is Hari, Bhagavan himself. So you have already achieved everything. Tadapi tvamati danyena atmani sansarikatvam aropyadi karma chikirshasi tada Bhagavan iva lok sangartam karam kuroti bhava. But even then, if out of humility you think that you are an ordinary person, then please engage in karma only for the purpose of setting good example for others, not that you really need to do that. That is the intention of them speaking. So we'll stop here. If there is any question to ask.
Moini has a question. She says, what is the meaning of Aneka Dundubhi?
Anak Dundubhi, not Anek Dundubhi. At least read properly. Anaka is drum and Dundubhi is another musical instrument. When Vasudeva was born, they were sounded in the sky, therefore he got the name Anak Dundubhi. Sandeep.
Babaji Maharaj, how does the brahmacharya fall rishi in?
Because brahmachari means they study Vedas. Not that brahmachari means you go and just drink chai.
Because I was thinking like some rishis themselves are married.
So what? What is that? What do you want to say by that?
I thought maybe following in the footsteps to resolve the rishi because study Vedas.
No, Rishi comes, as we already said, that you become free from Rishi by study of the Veda.